Today's lesson we're going to talk about perspective, and we're going to talk about a couple things with this unit: 1-point perspective, 2-point perspective, and putting ellipses and cylinders in perspective. Today we're going to start with the simplest form called 1-point perspective. And there's a couple elements that we need to know. We need to know about the horizon line, the picture plane, and the station point. First, I'd like to talk about the horizon line. The horizon line represents our eye level. If you go to the beach, you're standing on the beach and you're looking out at the sea, where the sky and the sea meet is the horizon line. And that will always be at your eye level. So if I stand on the beach, it'll be at one level. If I sit down on the sand, that horizon line will be lower. And if I go up onto the top of the dunes, the horizon line will rise up. So the horizon line is always at your eye level. Now, let's talk about the picture plane. Imagine yourself looking out the window and you can see a scene out the window. The piece of glass that you're looking through is the picture plane, okay? So I could easily draw on the piece of glass the buildings or the view down the street, and they would all be in perspective, all those lines, okay? Now, when we deal with a piece of paper, our picture plane is the piece of paper, okay? It could be your canvas, it could be your drawing pad. And for today, it's going to be this white piece of paper, all right? So I'd like you to get out your 18 by 24 inch sketch pad, and we're going to use one sheet today for 1-point perspective, all right? So the first thing I'd like you to do is put on the horizon line. And it's going to be this far from the top of your page, about 4 inches, and take a line across your page. All right. Now, I'm going to be using markers because I want you to be able to see it, but you can use a 2B pencil. All right. Okay. The other thing I mentioned was something called the station point, and that represents where the person viewing it is standing, okay? And in 1-point perspective, we're just going to put it right down the center of the page. Okay? And this is called the station point. All right, that represents where your viewer is going to be looking at these objects. All right? So right now we're going to do 1-point perspective, and we're going to put four cubes in perspective. All right. So let's start down in this area. I'm going to make a 2-inch square. Okay, so make a 2-inch square. Now, when we talk about 1-point perspective, and I take my box here, 1-point perspective means that this plane on this box is parallel to the picture plane. Okay? And that's what I have here. We can see the dimension of the square just as it would be. All right? Now, when we talk about 1-point perspective, the vanishing point, it means one vanishing point, is going to be right where the station point intersects the horizon line. Okay? And so let's talk about vanishing point. Vanishing point is that point on the horizon line in which all our parallel horizontal lines are traveling to. Okay, and I'm going to demonstrate this. All right. So if I take this corner of my box, my square, I'm going to take it back to my vanishing point. Okay. I'm also going to take this corner. All right. Back to my vanishing point. So if I was to turn this cube to the side, I would know that this line and this line were actually parallel to one another. And here I can demonstrate. So this is my square, and then I'm taking my side, and this is my side, right? So this is parallel, and these are parallel to each other. But in perspective, they're not. They're going to form a tapering plane back to the horizon line. So now I'm going to do it to my top. Okay. So now all my, what were parallel lines, follow the same vanishing point. Now with 1 point perspective, this vertical and this vertical are parallel to the station point. And they'll stay parallel to the station point. So now let me form my cube here. I'm going to draw a line parallel to this one in the front, back a certain distance. And then I'm going to go across the top and make sure that this line is parallel to the line on the front plane. Okay? So this to this is parallel, and then this to this is parallel. Okay? And this is perfectly vertical, and this is perfectly horizontal. All right. So that's our one cube in perspective. Now, one thing I want to point out is because our station point is here, this is where the person is standing, they can't see this far side of the box, right? And they can't see the bottom of the box. But now we know they can see this side of the box, and they can see the top besides the front plane. Okay? So let's do a square, a cube, over in this quadrant here. All right, so I'm going to do my 2-inch cube over here, and this one I'm going to make it a little bit closer to the horizon line. Okay. And I'm filming this video so that you can follow along, and you can pause the video if you need more time to do the process, okay? So here's our new cube, all right? Again, we're looking at this straight on. And now we're going to take the same points back to the same vanishing point. So my bottom corner to my vanishing point, my top corner to my vanishing point, and then my other top corner. Okay? All right. Same thing. It's all going to the vanishing point, but now you're going to see a little difference here. All right? Let's draw our side plane. Okay, and our top plane. Okay, remember these are parallel and vertical. These are parallel and horizontal. And let's look at the difference now. On this cube, I can see a lot more of the top. But look at this one. This one's closer to the horizon line. I see less of the top. Okay? But in regards to the side, this one's a little bit closer to the station point. So I see a little less of the side plane. This one is further away, so I see more of the side plane. Okay? Now, let's think about a box above the horizon line. Again, I'm going to do my 2-inch box. I'm going to put this one, I'm going to offset it, let's see, I don't want it to be exactly the same spot, I'm going to offset it this way. 2 inches, okay. Two-inch box, all right. All right, these are all the same, right? Okay, now I'm going to take my bottom corners to the vanishing point and this far side. Okay, so let's do that. All right, I'm going to do my parallel vertical, parallel horizontal. All right. Now this cube is above my horizon line. So look what I can see now. I can see the bottom of this cube and the side toward the station point. Okay? So that's the difference. I can't see the top anymore and I can't see the far side. All right. So let's put one over here, and this time I want to put it up as high as I can here. Okay. My 2-inch square. Okay. Now this one is closer to the station point, so let's see what happens. Okay. So I'm going to see a little more of the bottom than this one, right? Because it's higher up above the horizon line. But I'm going to see a little less of the side plane because it is closer to the station point. Okay? All right, so less of this, more of this. Okay? And there you have it. Okay? So one thing I'd like you to do, I did this in marker, and you may have markers or colored pencils at home, but I'd like you to color in the 2 planes that are closer to the station point. In this case, the bottom and the side, bottom side, side and top, side and top. Okay, and that's it for the 1-point perspective.